Hey, this is Blind Fox and welcome at my Ration review. Please support the channel, please subscribe and please go and donate on patreon.com. This is the second video of the review of the SANDF day number 2. This is the lunch and dinner portion. So let's get started with lunch. Okay, this menu, this menu, other than most of the others, don't have a 300 and a 200 gram meal with a 150 gram starch. It has two 200 gram meals and 250 gram starches, which is actually nice. Since we are going to do savory mince, they advertise the savory rice with this, but I like the samp with this since I don't really like samp with the chicken curry. We're going to do the savory rice with the chicken curry. I think it's a better fit. We are going to do the peach isotonic drink, the chicken soup in a cup, the raisins, which is 60 grams, which is quite a nice lot of them. Here's some tomato sauce or ketchup if we want to use it. It's so weak that I'm most likely not going to use it. We've got the cheese. This is one of the bags they provided. I'm going to try and they say that is supposed to be a drinking bag, but this is just a normal bag. I'm going to try and mix the drink in this. I will not show you when I mixed it, since I don't want to make a mess all over if this doesn't work. But this is a much thicker plastic than the previous bags that they used. Here's some salt. And there's just some more Super C's and gum which we had at breakfast. So you've got enough gum to have a few at each meal, and there's enough Super C's just to have a few throughout the day as well. So we will go and heat this up. They do have fuel tablets. I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to pop this into water. They actually have got instructions on the back how to heat this. So you just pop them in. You can either take them out of the pouch, heat them in the microwave, heat them in a pot, or pop them in hot water. So you're going to do the hot water bit. So let's check out the soup in a cup. This has got a slight chicken smell. You can see there's some vegetables. I can see a pea and some corn or maize, sweet corn. This only has slight chicken, this doesn't have that extraordinarily overwhelming chicken smell that some soups have. Okay, this is the peach isotonic drink. It's got a slight peach smell. We're going to use this bag. I will mix it just off camera. There's the powder in the bag. This bag looks big enough, so we will try this out. So I will go and mix this and I will be back. Right, let's put out the food. This is the samp. Now, like rice and some of the other starch stuff, the maize is sort of sheet-like. Okay, samp is normal white maize that is dry and then just put into water for a bit, soaked and then cooked. It's sort of maize porridge that isn't grounded. You can see it breaks up quite easily. You can see there is the maize. This isn't very flavorful, but it's not meant to be flavorful. It might be slightly a bit of salt in here. You taste the maize taste. As I said, this is not meant to be flavorful. This is sort of a base for whatever saucy dish you put on top of it. Now this is the savory mince. Now this is quite saucy. It's got the savory smell. You can see they're very saucy. So here we see there's some potatoes. This mince is very saucy. Well, let's taste this. Taste the mince. Nice slight tomato taste in the sauce. Although this tomato sauce or ketchup isn't very strong, I'm going to add it as well. I'm not going to add any salt here. Before I add this, I'm going to mix this with the samp. You can see immediately the sauciness disappear a bit. There is some corn or maize in here as well, or sweet corn. There, sweet corn. The maize do drink up the sauciness of the, or the samp do drink up the sauciness of the mince. But we'll add the tomato sauce, and I'm going to add the cheese as well. So this is just normal ketchup. It's not extraordinarily strong tomato sauce or ketchup, but it might just add a slight bit more tomatoiness to this. You can see this the samp is nice and spaced out now. So let's taste this again. The tomato sauce or ketchup sort of disappear in here, but you still get the nice tomatoiness. The samp doesn't take it away. We'll add some cheese here. We'll just park the cheese and stuff main there with the cheese so that it can melt a bit. So let's check out the soup. You can see there, nice light color. There's some vegetables in there, some corn or sweet corn, some peas. Not a very strong tasting chicken soup, but there's a nice chickeny flavor. It's nice and thick. So it's a nice little light soup. It's not extraordinarily salty as well, but you do get a slight chicken taste. Now this is the peach isotonic drink. It's sort of orange. I've mixed it in the bag. It mixed quite nicely. So let's try and drink out of this. It's got a nice light peach taste, sort of artificial peach. You can drink out of this. It would have been just nice if it's got a seal on top so that you can seal it. But if you roll it up and you shake it, it's possible to mix it. So these bags is much. So these new bags, or these green ones, you can actually drink out of. It doesn't break as easily as the old ones did. Now let's try some raisins. This is the raisins. You can see there's a variety of colors. There's some Thompsons. They're just thrown in the sun. I'm not sure if this is OR. I think this is raisins treated with sulfur. This is the yellow raisins. All of these are sultanas. I'm not sure if there's any OR in here. OR is put in a lye solution and then just dried in the shade. The sulfur treated ones is also dipped in a solution and dried in the presence of sulfur. So let's taste this. This is a nice raisin taste. I like the mixture of different kinds of raisins. The sulfur and the OR stuff is normally somewhat a bit sweeter, or taste sweeter than the Thompsons, but they're all nice. These are not particularly high grade raisins, but they still taste good. So I've left the cheese to melt some. So let's taste some now. You can see the color changed a bit. It's much more yellowish. It's still a nice slight tomato taste. You get the nice saltiness of the cheese. And this is good. And this is the same. I'm not going to add the salt. The gum is nice. It's a nice mint. It's not as harsh as the Halls, but it's still a good, nice strong mint. This is air fresh. And the super seeds are the same we had at breakfast. So this was the lunch. I like the lunch. I'm actually surprised. Like it that you have an extra way to mix your drinks, or you can just use the bags to store stuff in. So this and the mince and samp was nice. The savory mince and the samp. The savory rice is a bit more cuminy, and I don't like it with the savory mince, but this is good. And the chicken soup, it's a nice, very light chicken soup. It's not overwhelmingly chickeny. It's not that overwhelming saltiness. And I like the raisins. So this was lunch. See you at dinner. Welcome at dinner. So what we're going to have is the chicken curry, 200 grams. And as I said, you can get the, I've got this on my Facebook and Twitter page, and I've got it on a video. You can get the 200 gram, this is all the 200 gram meals ingredients. We're going to do the savory rice, since I think it fits more with the curry than the samp does, although other people eat the samp with the curry. This is 150 grams, and again, here's all the ingredients. And it's on my Facebook and Twitter page, and I've got the YouTube video on it. So this is the rice. It's very, very sheet-like. The curry is very, very liquidy. Rice, extraordinarily sheet-like. So I'm going to heat this up. I've got the tube of cheese if you want to use it with your curry. I'm not going to. But this is the same one we had at lunch. It works well with the biscuits as well. But I don't think cheese and peanut butter goes well together. That's why I didn't use it for breakfast. But this is a light cheese, not very salty. So we've got pineapple isotonic drink. This makes a cup. I'm not going to use the 250 mils. I'm not going to use the bag for this time. But you do get enough bags so that you can use it for the drinks. I'm not going to use it. There's some salt if you want to use it. We've got a little bit of chutney, which really doesn't taste a lot. It's not a very strong chutney. We've got some creamer if you want to use it in your tea. There's some sugar as well. There's a mystery tea bag. I'm not sure which tea this is. It's supposed to be black tea, but it could be any tea, they don't say. At least I put it in a little Ziploc bag so it doesn't get wet. There's some Super C's and the last of the gum. This is that same that we had at breakfast. The gum is a very strong mint, but it's not as strong as the menthol halls we had. It's just a nice mint, air fresh. And the Super C's are the same. And we've got a apricot energy bar. So this is going to be our dinner. I'll heat this up, mix this and mix the tea and be back. Everything is mixed and heated up. So this is a normal black tea. It's just a normal black tea taste. Not extraordinarily something weird about this. Just normal black tea. So I'm going to let it steep some more. This is the rice. You can see the sheet-like form of the rice. And immediately when you open this, you get that cumin smell. That's the reason why I didn't want to use it with the savory mince, because of that strong cumininess. The curry is going to be cuminy anyway, so I think it would fit better there. This is very hot. So here you can see the sheet form, very much the same as other rice or starch products in the sheet form. I'm just going to break it up a bit. So there's the 150 gram rice. You can see it's quite a bit. Together with the 200 gram main, it sort of makes a 350 gram main meal. So let's check it out. You can see the yellow, it's the turmeric. You can smell the cumin. This has got the cuminy curry taste. It already has a slight burn. It's a flavorful rice. It's sort of loose kernels. It's sort of a lot as if you just cook the rice. It's not really soft. Sometimes this is a bit dry. This one isn't as dry as some of the stuff we had. But this will all be solved by putting the curry on it. Just to cleanse my palate, I will taste the pineapple drink. This smells and tastes just like pineapple jelly. So the pineapple drink, as I said, smells and tastes like jelly. It tastes like the sort of a fake pineapple. So let's check out the curry. You can see in the packet, yellow, very, very saucy. And the curry, you can see it's large chicken pieces, very saucy. Slight mild curry. Very, very, very dry. In spite of the sauciness, the chicken breasts, these chicken breast pieces, and they are very dry. So the really I think need to crush this before you put it in your plate, just to crush up all the chicken pieces so that it can mix better with the sauce. As I said, very dry. So I'm gonna mix this with the rice now. So the curry includes some vegetables. There's some potato in there. This is a slight curry flavor, as I said. So I've mixed it with the rice. Let's taste it now. The chicken is still quite dry, but the rice does keep some of the moisture of the sauce back, so it helps. This is a very slight chutney. They could really have more chutney in here. Let's just mix it with a little bit. I've only mixed the chutney with a little bit of the curry. It gives a nice sweetness to the curry. And a little bit more moisture. Overall, I find the curry nice. It's a nice light curry. Nice and flavorful for the, especially if you mix the savory rice in here. It's a bit weird, not as flavorful if you just have the curry. But the savory rice adds that extra nice flavorfulness. So let's check out the tea again. This is just a normal black tea. Now the cheese is a light Gouda, not as salty as the cheddar. I'm not going to use it as cheese with the curry. I don't want to use the cheese for breakfast because I don't think peanut butter and cheese go well together. And we're not going to check out the Super C since we already did this for breakfast, and the only thing we've got left is this apricot energy bar. This is sort of a white chocolatey thing, fake chocolate around this. I'm not sure what is in here, but it's sort of a white chocolate wannabe. There's the bar. Very proteiny. Taste, you get that gritty feeling. Very, very sweet. You get the apricot taste. It's some little pieces of apricot, but it really tastes like artificial apricot. It is not a bad thing. It's quite sweet. It's not bad. You get the little bit of grittiness like all the energy protein bar stuff you get, but it's actually one of the better tasting bars they have. So that was dinner. As I said, this is the normal Super C stuff. We check it out at breakfast and we checked out the gums. I'm not going to use the salt. I think this stuff is salty enough. So what I think overall, the pineapple tastes very artificial, like very jelly, very like pineapple jelly. The tea, just the normal black tea, and the curry, a bit weak, but if you add the savory rice, you get the extra little bit of cuminy flavorfulness with this. So this is a good curry in the end. I would have, the chicken breast is a bit dry, so I think before you dish it out, you just squash it in the packet a bit just to break the chicken breasts up so that the sauce can get in between the little pieces. But overall it was a nice meal. And that is the end of the SERAC SANDF Day 2 review. So overall this was a nice meal. The last time I did this menu, they didn't have some of the breakfast items. They forgot, didn't have it in. So it was a good thing to taste that. I've never had the sorghum before, so that was nice. And they also didn't have the vanilla lactose-free drink. It's still a weird drink, but it's the better one of the free drinks, or 4 drinks you get. The others taste a bit more weird. So that was the review. Thanks for watching. Please support the channel, please subscribe, and see you at my next ration review.